She's got a secret underneath. Yeah, she's this naughty little freak. She likes to put on a show. She likes when it takes control.
With the NFL draft in the rear view, Green Bay football has taken center stage here once again. The boys are back in town for voluntary workouts and the off-season program, while the Packers rookies will be in Wisconsin this weekend. Of those 8 drafted rookies, 3 were defensive linemen, all taken on day 3 of the draft.
Met in the backfield and driven back by Barryn Sorrell.
Played 4 years at Texas and played at a high level in some big-time games.
I'm disciplined, I'm going to do my job, and I'm going to make plays. There's one guy with the ball snap, you got to go get him, and that's just a certain mentality that you have to have as a pass rusher is by any means, is just go get the quarterback.
They didn't slow it down much. Gobbled up, taken down, Barryn Sorrell.
I'm ready to come here and add to this Packer defense.
Wrestled down from behind. Colin Oliver.
Part of my game, being able to do everything, it's what I pride myself on, and it's honestly what I'm best at.
He's another guy that has versatility and a speed rusher on the edge.
I lean speed, but my speed also sets up my power. Being able to be versatile like that is a really cool thing, and I'm blessed to have the ability to do those things.
Colin Oliver so fast around the corner.
Brinson, he's a bigger body interior player. He can come in here and do some of the dirty work in that regard.
A really big man that can do a lot of things. I believe he can play up and down the line. He's not just a one-position player on the defensive line.
In pass rush, just interior juice, and when a big play is needed, I'm going to bring a big play. It's all over. Just being an athletic, three-technique big, and just getting some pocket push.
It's time to get back to work. I know we're starting this weekend, so I'm gonna take this moment in like I have been, enjoying my family, but I'm ready to play some football, I'm not going to lie.
It's great, man. It's a blessing. Still feel real surreal, but I'm blessed for the opportunity. Can't do nothing but thank God.
What did it mean to you? I mean, you had to wait a while for that phone call to come. What did it mean to you when you finally saw that Green Bay recruit?
At the point when the drive came around, everything else was out of my control. No matter how long I had to wait, I knew it just had to be patient. And by the end of Saturday, I knew I was going to be on someone's team, but I'm just blessed to be on this organization, with this organization.
This is I believe this was your only visit. What is it like to have had that connection with them? They still had that faith in you and the draft.
Yes, sir. So, sometimes it only takes one, one team to believe in you, and Green Bay believed in me. So I'm here now, and I'm here to give everything I got.
Okay, do you have any connections to anybody here, any players?
Yes, sir. Malik Willis, actually my cousin.
Oh,
yes, sir.
Sure. So did you get a chance to see him?
Yes, I actually just saw him before I walked in here a couple minutes ago. I got a chance to talk to him. First time talking to him since being up here, actually.
I guess what was that first conversation once he saw that you were, drafted to the team?
He's just like, family, welcome. I'm blessed to be on this team, but it's also crazy that I'm on the same team as him.
When was the last time you saw him in person?
It's been a while. I've been in college, going back and forth from Furman and back and forth from Tulane. So this is my first time seeing him in a while.
How are you guys connected via family, if you don't mind me asking?
We're cousins, third cousins to be exact, second or third.
Mom.
One of them. Dad's side, my dad's side. Is mom.
So having a visit here, like obviously you knew he was on the team. Did you kind of allow yourself to think like, oh man, we could actually be on the same team?
I knew he went here during my visit. But like I said, this is my only visit. But it's a blessing to be on the same team as him. Yeah.
So you make the visit, and you end up getting drafted here. So what was it like? What were these last couple of days to come back to Green Bay when you were here before?
Yeah. So on my visit, I was joking with the coaches. Actually, I was like, I'm gonna be back. Hopefully I'll be back. And kind of just spoke it into existence. I had a great visit up here with them. Got to know the coaches. Got to tour the facilities. Loved everything about the culture, loved everything about Green Bay, and now I'm back.
You've seen the success of late round corners has been documented here in Green Bay with Carrington and Corey Ballantyne. When you see that level of success, does it give you an extra, bit of a leg up, knowing okay, if they've done it before, I can do it here?
Seeing it's been done before, that always gives you more confidence. But just following those guys' footsteps. getting the trust from the veterans and things like that. Then getting the trust from the coaches, that'll allow me to get on the field and show what I can do.
And then the big signing with Nate Hobbs coming here, and then you have Jair in the room. Obviously, there's uncertainty there, but knowing you have vets that are going to teach you the ropes, how cool is it to come into a system
Yes, sir.
that has that?
Yeah, so they were once in the same position as me. So, you know, like I said, just following those footsteps, learning from them, learning the ins and outs of the defense, ins and outs of the programs, of the team culture, everything.
Is there anyone on the defensive side of the football that you're really looking forward to playing with?
Say that again?
Is there anyone on the defensive side of the football that
Everybody,
really,
honestly, yes, sir, everybody.
Have you had the opportunity to connect with any of the current corners in the room yet? Kind of what have those conversations been like?
So, you know, Kalen, everybody, well, honestly, all the rookies that have come in, you know, it's rookie minicamp right now, so just been talking with those guys, learning to play with those guys. It's been great.
When you look at the pieces that they have currently, like where do you feel like you fit in with the cornerback room, like based on your skill sets?
Honestly, anywhere. That could be the cornerback room, nickel room, anywhere. Special teams, you know, I'm just wherever the coaches want to put me, I can play.
How breakneck is the last week for you? I mean, 168 hours ago, you are waiting to find out where you'll be
Exactly.
playing football, and now you're here. What goes on in between those 7 days when you find out, hey, this is where I'm going, this is what I've got to do, and now I'm here?
You know, got blessed with the opportunity to come here. Now, this is the easy part for me, honestly, and that's playing ball. So that's what I have to do.
I know you're busy with college football, obviously, but did you get any opportunity during last season or maybe the previous season to kind of see what the Packers have done and just knowing, you know, that they've made the playoffs and all that, and what does it mean to kind of join a team that's made it to those places?
Yes, ma'am. The Packers. This is it's a historic franchise. You know, it's a great franchise to be a part of. That's another reason why I'm blessed to be a part of the program, and I'm looking to just contribute to that, win another Super Bowl.
What do you want to get out of this weekend, just these couple days with this little mini camp? Like, what are you hoping to get out of it for yourself?
Right now I'm just, you know, learning the ins and outs, learning the whole culture of the program, learning how to insert myself in, and whatever the coaches tell me to do, you know, in all reality, I'll just do it.
I think I saw that you said that you kind of go after the ball when it's in the air. Kind of what have those conversations kind of been like with Jeff Hafley and the way that he kind of designs plays for the corners to kind of get after it and be aggressive?
He brought me here because he knew I could make plays, so that's all it is, honestly. Just go out there, do my job, make plays, no matter what position it is.
Last year, the Packers were one of the best teams in terms of forcing turnovers. How excited does that get you to join a group that loves to ball hawk?
Yeah, you see some people make turnovers, that makes you want to go create turnovers. So, yeah, that's it with that.
Michael, were you a vision guy? Did you guys play your scheme with eyes on the quarterback, or did you do a lot of man coverage? And how do you think it fit, given that, with how they like to play here?
Yeah, so at Tulane, we played quarters. We played a lot of man. You know, learning the playbook here. For the last 2 days, been learning the playbook, and it's coming along pretty well. I'm understanding everything pretty well, so it's just honestly learning different techniques, adding new tool bags, tools to my bag.
I'm sorry, how does it fit the tools that you already have? Like, where do you best fit in the way they like to play based on what you've seen here for 2 days?
Yeah, so like you said, I could play man, I could play zone. Also, I could play off-man coverage if that's needed. So.
I'm sorry if you've been asked this already, but have you had a chance to catch up with some of the guys, maybe on defense or just in the secondary? And you know, who are some of those guys? And I guess, you know, what have those conversations kind of been like?
So I talked to some older guys, but most of the time, you know, I've been with the other rookies, just getting to know them, getting to know the playbook with them.
So. What's been your impression just on Green Bay and just early?
It's great. I'm happy to be here. I'm blessed to be here, honestly.
Mikey, you're a young man. How ready are you for the professional? It's a job now.
Yes,
How
sir.
ready are you for that aspect of life?
Ball is ball. I always say ball is ball. So at the end of the day, it's football. Football doesn't change much, but you know, I'm looking to follow in the footsteps of those older guys. You know, learn from them and just step into my role.
How much are you looking forward to getting out on the field tomorrow and just showing this team why they drafted you?
Yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to just being on the field, doing my job, making sure I got all the right keys, making sure my eyes are right and whatnot.
You know, when OTAs get going, like at the end of the month, things are going to be real competitive, obviously.
Yes, sir.
So what do you want to show these coaches? Like,
Yes, sir.
What type of first impression do you want to make when things really get going?
Yes, sir. I want to show them I can play any position, whether that's nickel or corner. I want to play special teams, but kind of with my skill set, like I said, I want to show them you could put me anywhere. They could put me anywhere on the field, and also be like a low maintenance guy whenever they need me. Just go out there and do what I have to do.
Last season, when you made the transition to Tulane, where did you see the most growth in your game over the last year?
Most growth in my game. Honestly, I would say the film room. We had a lot of older guys transfer in with me at Tulane, and one of the other corners actually got drafted. One of the other DBs got one of the other corners signed too. So, just being in the film room with those guys, becoming a film junkie. That's where I think I grew the most.
Last one for Micah. What went into your decision to transfer and why Tulane? How'd you end up?
Relationships, honestly, transfer portal gets crazy, but I already knew the defensive coordinator that I was over there, and then one of the other defensive back coaches that was over there recruited me out of high school. So, just had already built that relationship, and Tulane was also the only visit I took out of the portal.
Really?
Yes, sir. So, loyal to a program that loves me. So that's how I ended up at Tulane.
And how'd you know the DC?
He coached at Wofford, and then defensive back coach Rob Green, he had coached at Wofford as well and recruited me in high school. So.
Like just to actually be here right now in the building, and is it starting to feel real?
Yeah, it's starting to feel home. I mean, when I came on my visit, it felt like home. So, when I got here, and I was just being around the area, it kind of just felt like home. Feel good though.
How much of an advantage do you think that is? 5 of the 8 guys that they drafted all took pre-draft visits. Do you feel like you guys get a little jump start on understanding where to go? This is not everything is new to you, right?
Yeah, I think that was like an advantage, like you said, like just coming up here, seeing the area where you're gonna be and everything, meeting the people. Just not getting drafted and just going up there, first time meeting everybody. But I think that was a real advantage.
What made you feel like when you had your visit that it felt like home?
So I'm from a small town, and this like small town type vibe and everything. So just being around here and just seeing how tight the town was and hearing how the fans are and everything. So that's like I like that type. I like small stuff like that.
Savion, it's still early, but just early on, what have you learned about this Packers offense, and what does Matt LaFleur and that staff try to do offensively? What have you learned early on?
Move around a lot, man, and you can be anywhere. Just be ready. Yep.
Sounds like something you did all last year. Move around a lot, do anything.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Are you okay coming into the NFL with that niche versus I'm a receiver? Right, like you're going to be everywhere.
Yeah, whatever my team need me to do, that's what I'm going to do. So, coach tell me to get on tight end, play tight end. Shoot, get on the line and play lineman. So whatever I need to do is what I'll do.
You mentioned on the phone call we had with you that you had hosted Matthew Golden for a visit. What is it like now reconnecting with him, being on the same team?
It's cool, man, because, when I hosted him when he came out of high school and came to TCU for his visit. So when he came up there, it was cool. And, he went to Houston coming out of high school. And, we talked every now and then. But, he takes me on draft night and shoot. And just cool. It's cool to have somebody up here, just not knowing everybody.
What has this week kind of been like, where you get drafted and you find out where you have to go and kind of actually now get acclimated to where you are?
I mean, it's kind of stressful at first, but I mean, like I told him a while ago, just knowing where I was gonna go, and it took some of the stress away.
We all saw the video, obviously, of your reaction to getting picked and all that. So just what were those emotions? What was the source of it? Like, why was it so emotional?
I mean, so that whole week before I draft, everybody was always asking me, like, if it was one team you would get picked by, who would you want to get picked? And I told them, like, it would be Green Bay. That's where I want to go. And shoot, just, seeing the area code number just pop up and then, just grinning the whole time. So, just knowing I'm being Green Bay was just a dream, man.
Why here?
Why here?
Yeah, why was Green Bay the answer?
Like Matt LaFleur, man. I mean, shoot, him, and I mean, just like Green Bay. I mean, like when I was a kid, just watching Aaron Rodgers. I mean, it's a dream, man. So I mean, just playing having a cheesehead. You know, being a cheesehead, man. I love being a cheesehead. So.
Do you have one yet?
No, I'm buying one before I leave, though.
I bet they'll give you one.
Oh yeah, I'm getting one for sure.
What do you think your emotions will be for the first time when you put that helmet on and kind of get to experience going on the field and getting out there?
I don't know, man. It'll be a great feeling, man. I can't wait because I ain't played football since freaking November. So, I'm ready to put that helmet on, that yellow on, and going out there and do what I need to do, man.
What are you hoping to get out of this weekend? Just these couple of days, like what do you?
Just the plays, just learn the plays, man. Just seeing what I need to do. So when I get back next week, it just comes smooth.
You mentioned watching Aaron Rodgers growing up. What do you think, though, about Jordan Love and what you've seen from him just in his first 2 years as a starter here?
A great quarterback, and I can't wait to work with him, man. Can't wait to work with him.
I imagine Jordan might be one of the reasons why this is an attractive place for a receiver to be.
Mm-hmm.
How long did it take for him to reach out to you, and what kind of conversations did you have with him?
Oh, he just sent me a message like right after I got drafted, and I can't remember exactly what he said, but he just welcomed me to the team and everything, and just to have somebody like your quarterback text you, and just feels great, man.
Have you had a chance to talk to other receivers on the team, other than Matthew, obviously, and how much do you kind of embrace the competition that's going to be in that room?
I talked to McCole Hardman. Yeah, that was the other one. That was the only one I talked to, and he was just introducing himself, and that was it, man. But all of us, I would expect everybody would love to compete. I said compete. So just being able to compete, man. Everybody should love that, because I do.
So many people project about your game, at the pro level. How do you envision it? Where do you think you can make the quickest impact at the NFL level?
The quickest impact, probably just getting the ball in my hand quick. That's probably it. But just doing anything I need, like doing everything I need to do.
How special it is to be with Matthew off the field, considering you guys go back, to be on the field together in the same offense, and really two very different players with what you guys do. How well do you feel like you guys complement each other?
I think that's I was thinking about that when I got drafted, but it's gonna work. I know it's gonna work, because the coach, he's gonna use us in the right way, so I know it's gonna work in the right way.
How do you? If there was anybody in college football who was like you, do you think you're a unique type of player in college football? Do you think that might be the case could be the case in the NFL as well?
Yes. I don't. It's hard, to compare yourself to people, but yeah, man. Like some of the stuff I did this past year, I always thank my offensive coordinator, my coaches, because just playing receiver all throughout college, and then this last year, they needed me to, move around a lot. So, just bringing that coming back to life. Because I played quarterback in high school. So, bringing that back, it was just, natural feeling.
All those guys, they compare you to in the NFL, like Deebo Samuel or whatever. They're not 6'4". They're not 200, 220, whatever. I mean, does that kind of make it do you think?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because we're different in size and the way we play and things like that. But I can see why people compare me to Deebo and all those great players.
Have you heard of the comparisons to Cordero Patterson? Have you heard of it? You've been, especially in the draft, they were talking Cordero Patterson a lot because he's a tall dude and ran a lot to transition to running back. You said you don't like to compare. What do you think of that comparison?
That's like I said, man, to be compared to someone like a great player like those players, shoot, you can't say nothing bad about it. But shoot, just to be compared to those people is great.
So when did you stop playing quarterback, and when did that transition happen to receiver, and then why?
So I played receiver all throughout high school. My last year I had to move to quarterback because we had a quarterback situation, and I played quarterback my whole life. So it was natural when I got back there, and then throughout high school I got recruited to play receiver. So just my senior year was basically letting them see what I did with the ball in my hands. That was it.
I read somewhere where they said you might have had the best arm of anybody at TCU.
Oh yeah, I do.
You think that's true?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep.
Did you guys ever have throwing contests?
Not really, because people we already knew. It wasn't no competition in that. So yeah, we're good though.
Does Jordan need to watch out?
Aware of that?
Huh?
Matt LaFleur aware of that?
I don't know. We'll find out though.
You calling it now? Trick plays? Any trick plays?
I hope. I can't call it, man.
Because you threw a couple touchdowns into it this
I threw a touchdown. I threw a few passes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Terry Wilkes has already said he has the best arm in that receiving room.
We're gonna test that out, man.
Outside of just the entire team, it's so cool that wide receiver room. They're so young. Is it nice to have a lot of guys that you can relate to that are in just years 1, 2, 3, or 4?
Yeah, I mean, it's, just going into a room with people that's already been here. So I mean, just going in there and learning from them and their mistakes or whatever they learned as a rookie. Just that's what I'm looking forward to, just learning, because that's I didn't get to do all a lot of receiver stuff in college. So just getting up here and learning a lot of receiver stuff. That's what I'm looking forward to.
With all that competition too, with your unique skill set, do you think you can stand out in a way in a talented room that you're entering?
Oh yeah, yes sir, for sure. Just like I said, just being able to move all over the place and do everything. So I mean, I would think that would try to help the team a lot with that. Yeah.
What's your process for learning how to play all over the field? Like the mental side of that, you got to know every position, you got to know every spot. How do you go about kind of indoctrinating yourself and all that?
Just get it, get the playbook, learn it, walk through it with the team, and that's really it. It comes, just you got to study hard and study. That's it.
How much are you looking forward to the weather here in Green Bay? A little bit in Texas.
Yeah, man. Coming from Texas, like 80 degrees right now, right? And I got off the plane yesterday, and it was like 40 or 50. I was like, oh, okay. But I was, it's not gonna be nothing to adapt to. It's gonna be fine, but it's gonna be hard because I'm from Texas, so it's gonna be all right though.
It's warm here right now. It's warm.
Yeah, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right, man.
How's your family feel about that?
Man, my wife and my daughter, they I can't even tell you that. I don't even know. She doesn't like the cold, but she's an inside person or hot, weather. So I mean, she'll be all right though.
I know your daughter's young, but does she understand what's happened to Daddy?
A little bit. I wouldn't say. No, she don't. She don't. She
Eventually
don't.
she will.
Yeah, eventually she will.
What's the last week been like for you?
It's been good, man. It's finally good to get back up here and just be around some of the other guys. That's along in this process with me, so it's good to see the coaches and be back in the building.
I'm sure this has been your dream for quite a while. What was it like walking into the building for the first time?
That was cool because I remember I came on my visit, and it was just crazy just seeing. It's a nice building, a nice facility too. So seeing all the stuff they have, it was like, damn. Well, I don't know if I could, but it was just. I was just in amaze because it's a nice facility. Like some colleges got nice facilities, but this top notch right here.
I guess what have you learned about just this Packers offense early on since you've been here, and how they operate?
Yeah,
Josh Jacobs.
Especially just being here just today, especially just seeing how the offense is. Offensive line, they want to attack. They're going to be physical, so they want to kind of be dominant up front.
Have they told you where you will start is in the off season as far as what position?
Oh no, sir. No, I'm just coming in and competing.
How many different positions do you think you can play?
I feel like I'm pretty versatile when it comes to that aspect, being able to play tackle, but also leaning back on my physicality to be able to play guard.
Anthony, one of the scouts here was telling us one of the reasons they like you is because big doesn't get small.
Yeah.
When you look at your size and as an asset, how has that progressed through your life? Because you weren't always the biggest guy.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, over time, I got bigger, but, I just learned how to play with it, I knew I was a big guy. I knew I could rely on my physicality in a lot of aspects, especially run game. So when it came to, me being bigger, I feel like I was able to take that to advantage when it came to run game.
So you played other positions in the past, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how does a pancake block compare to feeling that versus maybe getting a score or something else from the previous?
I feel like, in my opinion, a pancake block is equivalent to receiving getting a touchdown, running back getting a touchdown. So that's how I feel for me.
Yeah. Are you nervous now? Are you excited? What's your emotion about being here now?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. Because you're nervous because you're in a new environment around people you're not really too familiar with. But also it's like you're excited because this is what you've been wanting to do since you was a kid, lifelong dream. You get a chance to, anytime you get a chance to keep playing the game you've been loving since a kid, it's a blessing. So it's kind of a good excitement in that aspect. But you're gonna be nervous at first a little bit.
Do you have a favorite block from your college career?
I say one of them, it was a screen I had versus Wake Forest my 2023 year, and I feel like anytime you could get a lineman out in space and he can pancake in that level, it's impressive.
I guess what goes through your mind when you hear, Josh Jacobs, one of the 5 best backs in the league, Jordan Love, a young up-and-comer who's establishing himself as a quarterback. What goes through your mind when you hear that's the quarterback that you'll protect, that's the running back you'll block?
Yeah, I mean, you got guys that's behind you that's elite at what they do, top of their position, so it kind of makes you want to match their energy. You got one of the best running backs, one of the top quarterbacks. I want to do what I can to make sure they can keep excelling at what they're doing.
Is there anyone that you looked up to as a role model? I want to be like that player.
I definitely did watch a lot of tape of Tristan Wirfs, Laramie Tunsil, Penei Sewell. I feel like even Icky, a guy I played with, I feel like those are guys that play offensive line they do it right, pass game, run game. They dominate, working first level, second level, moving in space. So I feel like all aspects of their game is I feel like they're at the top of their position.
You measured 6'6". Are you comfortable with the weight you're at? You headed into your NFL training camp?
Yeah, I'm comfortable now, but I still want to drop some more before the season. So I love to drop about 10 more pounds.
A lot of talent in that offensive line room here. Obviously not just yet, the veterans, obviously, when they all get here.
Yeah.
How would you describe your competitiveness to kind of try to fight your way to some snaps with that large group?
Yeah, just my mindset every day. I just want to, I just want to be a sponge, continue to learn, but also be the best version of myself when it comes to, if it's on the field, off the field, making sure I'm in the playbook. I feel like all that kind of lines up to allow me to be able to come in, compete, and be able to get reps with older guys.
How did the Senior Bowl go as far as playing other positions other than left tackle?
It was good. I feel like when I made a switch to right tackle, and the more repetition I got, the better it felt. So that was pretty good going to the Senior Bowl.
Anthony, I know we talked to you the immediate aftermath of you getting picked. Just what was it like going through the weekend then, the time spent with your family, just sort of the reaction?
Before I was stressing, I was nervous. I remember I couldn't even eat. Everybody eating, laughing, playing around, have a good time. But I'm just sitting there checking the phone, sitting at the table, got my little legs shaking. But I mean, it was all good, man. Being my family, the support system, the people that's been there throughout the whole process, the ups and downs. It was good to share that moment with them, close families, friends, the people you're most grateful for.
Did they get you an extra, a meal the next day then, or something like that?
Nah, I left the next day, but we ate good after though. We had seafood, we had seafood because that's what we like down there in Tallahassee. We had a seafood bowl, so after I got that name called, I ate good. As soon as I got off that interview, pulled them sleeves up, started eating some crab legs.
Thanks for waiting for us. We appreciate it.
No problem.
One of the scouts we talked to.
People attacked you in college. Did they even bother to try to
it was
you at all? Or?
Especially just playing in the ACC, you go against a lot of teams like Wake Forest. They try to do a lot of line movements, line games. So just moving at the point when the ball snaps. So it's a lot of, in that aspect, a lot of teams do try to, create movement when it comes to Charlie stunts, blitzing with linebackers from depth, all that stuff. They definitely do a lot of stuff to try to slow you down and make you process a little more. So you can't. Team like Wake Forest, you can't just come off the ball and fire off. You might just have to slow play it to fill it out. Then once you get a groove, you can get active in that way.
Did you have anybody who just lined up opposite you and came at you the whole game? I mean, was there ever a situation?
I mean, it's definitely people throughout my career I got to give respect to. It's especially early on coming in, I went against Miles Murphy, Tyree Wilson. So guys like that, I played pretty early, got a chance to get big matchups. So I definitely ever learned quick.
The Packers love not only your size, but how good you are at pass protection, your footwork. What have you done to study? Did other NFL players you studied or coach to help you with your footwork?
Yeah, especially just off season, I was training with Eugene Chung. He did coach with the Chiefs, Eagles, so he did have a chance to coach good guys like Lane Johnson, stuff like that. So, I was with him this off season, kind of trying to fix a lot of things when it came to just my base, my footwork, just my hands too. I know that's a big thing I need to clean up. But, especially when it comes to pass, I do watch a lot of Laramie Tunsil. He stays square. He's consistent with his hand placement and strike, and he's just patient. So I kind of try to pick stuff from that. But Eugene Chung's like a guy. Obviously, my offensive line coach 2J, he taught me a lot of tools when it came to that aspect.
About quickness and reaction, balance, and then leverage against the face, right?
And especially just being able to switch it up. You can't go out there and work the same set every time. Every here and now and then you got to come. You have to have a plan pre-snap, so just trying to mix it up too.
When someone says you need to clean up your hands, what does that mean? I mean,
Yeah.
what are you doing with your hands, and what would you like to do better or
Yeah.
different?
So I had a bad habit of kind of collecting instead of striking. So a lot of times, guys kind of collecting, and that's kind of giving up your chest. So that invites bull rushes. So now you're in the quarterback lap, and especially at this level, you can't do that against guys like Chase Young, J.J. Watt. So it's kind of, when it comes to that aspect, I need to do a better job of just using my inside hands and also using my length, keeping that separation so I can't let guys get in my body.
How's your vaccination going? What do you think?
I think it's going pretty well. Love it so far. So yeah.
You came in on a visit.
Mhm,
So
I did.
How does that put you? 5 of the 8 rookies that got drafted
Mhm.
all visited. Do you feel like that gives you guys a little head start? You're not everything's wide-eyed and brand new.
It definitely helps, being able to know my way around because, things happen fast in the mini camp. So knowing my way around between meetings and stuff, it's definitely helped me a lot.
I guess take us back to that visit. When you met with the Packers, what were things that they talked about that they liked about your game, and kind of what were those conversations like?
Big point for me was just my flexibility, like being able to play multiple positions, which I think is probably why they picked me. Just the ability to hopefully help out wherever I'm needed. I think that's the biggest upside for me.
How did you demonstrate in college you play all those? Because you pretty much game-wise you were in
Oh yeah,
position.
game. I only played left tackle, but I practiced at all 5 at some point in college. So that was a big talking point for me.
Sure.
So now they're putting it to the test, and I think I can do pretty well. So we'll see.
So you practiced a lot at center?
Yeah, well, a little bit of center in college. I'm not gonna say I practiced a little bit though. Yeah.
I got you.
But John, you obviously don't know the history here, but they take left tackles all the freaking time here and put them somewhere else. So that is a crucial thing to be able to do. How much work could you have gotten though when you're also probably your best offensive lineman? That's why they played you at left tackle. So how much work are we talking during the season?
Well, when I was this past season, it was I played exclusively left tackle. But when I was a younger guy, not playing as much, that's when I was more rotating between different positions, getting experience at all the different spots.
One of the things Goody said after he drafted you was that usually a guy like you who can play all those spots isn't still sitting there on the board. Was that what was draft day like for you? Were you expecting to be taken better, higher, or how did it
Honestly,
play out?
I really wasn't expecting anything. I said the entire time, all I hope is that I get drafted, and I did. So I'm not really worried about, I should have been 4th round. I'm just happy to be here.
And it's all about where you fit in, right? So
Absolutely.
So when you look at where, and I know you got a lot of time to figure it out, but when you look at where you landed, how does it feel early on here in terms of a fit for you?
It feels great. I love it. I love the atmosphere. Everybody's dedicated to winning, and that's what I love. So I can't wait.
Come for a pre-draft visit. You're trying to make an impression on them. What type of impression did the city leave on you during your time here?
I would say, one thing I love is that the fans are the owners. It's clear, like just getting off the plane when you're coming here. Everybody knows who you are, and they automatically love you just because you're a Packer. And I love that. It's like more of a college feel, and yeah, I love it.
There was some viral videos from some of the prospects who were visiting last week. Cam Ward said, hey, there's nothing to do here. Do you get a different sense of this, or do you like the fact that it's ball over everything here?
I love it. It's all ball. I'm sure there's ways to have fun if you can find them, but hey, it's all ball. That's what we're here for. So.
Mix of veterans and younger guys on that O-line. What are you hoping to kind of gain in terms of picking the brains of those that have been here for a while, but also learning with those younger guys?
Yeah, definitely learning from the older guys, trying to pick up some tips and tricks where I can, and then just contributing wherever there's a void. Stepping in that position, just helping out. I just want to win at the end of the day.
How cool is it knowing behind you is Jordan Love and Josh Jacobs, 2 guys that have, especially last year, but Josh has been in this league for a while, did well with the early Jordan, on the come up.
It's pretty wild. I met him yesterday, and it was like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of weird, but yeah, it's definitely awesome. It's good to know that you got those guys back there that can really do their job, and yeah, it encourages you to do your job.
Have you had an opportunity to connect with any of the other offensive linemen yet?
Yeah, a couple of the veteran guys, yeah, and everybody seems good. So.
Have you met Sean Ryan yet? Because I feel like
I
you
have
guys
not.
might be competing for best hair.
I have not yet, but I'd love to see the hair. I would love to see it.
What was that first conversation like with Jordan? Just meeting the guy that you'll be protecting.
It was short. It was just an introduction, but it was good. Obviously, I know him, seen him play, so I know what he's capable of. I just hope that I can contribute.
After the draft, you had mentioned your growth over the last year in pass protection specifically. What did you attribute that to, the steps forward you took?
I would attribute that to our O-line coach, Nick Cardwell at Cincinnati. He did a great job implementing new systems for our pass protection. Yeah.
Did that best suit your skill set?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, he kind of gave me the confidence to play and be who I could be.
You didn't play in your bowl game, so obviously it's been a while since you got on the field. How much are you looking forward to tomorrow, just, you know, getting on the field and getting to kind of run around a little bit?
I'm looking forward to it a lot, you know. I can't wait. Yeah.
Hey, John, obviously your degree was a talking point when you got drafted. You're obviously a very bright guy. If it wasn't football, what would you be doing?
I'd want to work somewhere like Lockheed Martin or like SpaceX in like a research division. Yeah, something like that.
So I'm curious, obviously your coaches all know you're a really bright guy.
Mm-hmm.
So do they expect a whole lot less learning mistakes than maybe a typical rookie? I mean, sometimes can all those brains work against you a little bit? When it comes to
Yeah,
expectations?
I'd say that. There's definitely a chance of overanalyzing things, but you know, when you're a smart guy, you got to be a smart guy. You know, you gotta show it. So hopefully, they don't expect too many learning mistakes because there's going to be some. But you know, I'm a bright guy. I'll pick it up fast. We'll be good.
So why aerospace engineering? Like, how did that become the major?
Honestly, loved it since I was a kid. Well, loved science since I was a kid, and just naturally, as I grew up, kind of narrowed it down to what I wanted to do.
So, John, as someone who's not a bright guy, how did that help you in terms of picking up playbooks and all that kind of the football side of using your intelligence?
It helps a lot, you know. I would say a big part of just intelligence is pattern recognition, which helps a lot in football. Seeing fronts and schemes and understanding what needs to happen. It helps a lot.
So Fickle obviously would have recruited you to Cincinnati, right?
Yeah, he
Still
did.
there, and now obviously he's at Wisconsin.
Yes.
Did you, I don't know, maybe having gone to Wisconsin, maybe our aeronautics and engineering and that stuff aren't good enough. Did you consider leaving
No.
when he left?
No.
You because it was just a better fit for you at Cincinnati, or
Well,
because there were a lot of Bearcats who did leave.
I'm just not the kind of person to leave. I mean, no disrespect to the guys that did leave. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's got to do what's right for them. That's just never been me. I started it at Cincinnati. I'm going to finish it at Cincinnati.
You mentioned that whoa moment when you see Josh and Jordan. As a rookie, how do some of y'all get past that initial starstruck moment and realize, hey, we're in the same locker room now, we're teammates, we're at the same level?
Well, I've only been here for like 24 hours, so I'm not sure how we get past that yet, but I'm working on it, so I'll let you know.
How much have you paid attention to the Packers and what they've been able to do the last couple seasons?
A lot. We watched a lot of film at Cincinnati on the Packers just because we kind of have a similar offensive scheme, so we've definitely seen a lot of their stuff and was loving it. Yeah.
And when you watched like the offensive line, what kind of stuck out to you about what they do?
Well, I'm not going to give you any like scheme stuff, but I mean, like I said, it was just a very similar play style. You could tell that they have a similar philosophy here that we did at Cincinnati.
You kind of talked about getting over the starstruck of it. Just what is it like joining such a legacy, football program in the NFL?
I mean, it's great. You know what I'm saying? I mean, obviously there's the pressure of expectations, but I wouldn't have it any other way. You know, it makes you step up to the plate.
John, you mentioned your flexibility. Has anybody here said anything specific to you about where they wanted you to begin in terms of your position?
I mean, nothing specific. I just know that I'm going to be expected to play a lot of different positions and help out wherever I can.
Have you ever played center?
I've practiced at center when I was a younger guy, yeah.
Is that something they mentioned they felt like you could play every position. Does that seem doable to you to be able to play
Yeah.
center?
Mm-hmm.
John, I don't want to make an assumption off of 8 minutes of talking to you, but you seem to have a little bit of personality, and you seem like you might be a little bit fun. Is that your philosophy on playing the game of football? Obviously, you take it very seriously and want to succeed. But
Right.
Is fun a key component for you as well, or am I just making
Yeah.
an accurate assumption?
Fun definitely helps. You know, I mean, it's hard to love the game if you're not always having fun. But there are some moments that aren't fun. Some things are hard and they're not fun. And those are the things that you usually have to do the best. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, I love to have fun. Everybody loves to have fun when they play football. But at the end of the day, it is a job. You know, you got a job to do, and you got to get it done the right way.
So, in your dream scenario, I know it's like day 2 of your NFL or day 1.5 of your NFL career, but you play this game for a decade, and then you actually do go in to NASA or SpaceX? Or I mean, is that kind of what your brain would think if it was ideal?
Dream scenario. I'd never have to use my degree. That's my dream scenario.
Really? Okay.
But I mean, if I have to use it, then I'll use it. But the dream scenario is I can just play football for the rest of my life. But obviously, that's never going to happen. So yeah, probably hopefully play as long as I can, and then go get a real job. Yeah.
How did your family feel about being here and just this opportunity?
They were ecstatic. I mean, yeah, they were very excited. Yeah, I don't even know how to describe it. Very excited.
Who was probably the most excited?
Definitely my mom. My mom was hype. Yeah. So.
More hype than you?
I was more shocked than hype. She definitely beat me when it came to like the excitement factor. I was kind of just like, what? Yeah. So.
What's the last week been like for you? You got the call, you drafted by the Packers. What's the last week been like?
It's been a roller coaster of emotions, man. And the highs, and I mean, there's been all over the place, just anxiety, like everything you can imagine. But it's been welcoming, just coming here and seeing the people here and meeting the coaches and some of the players who were here, and it's been real cool. It's been real cool and surreal. So.
Who have you caught up with? Some of the players that are here.
Yeah, so there's a couple of linebackers and a couple of D linemen here. Shook hands with Mecole Hardman. I don't think I saw Jordan Love yet, but I mean just the rookies that we came in with as well. So it's just seeing those players and being here, like it's really real. So it's real cool.
Has it hit you yet that this is real?
Yeah, it has. But like when I'm on the field and whenever the pads get going and stuff like that, that's when it's really gonna be like, all right, let's get it. So, but no, being here has been. It's hit me to an extent. I'll say that much.
What was it like kind of seeing some of the history of the stuff around here, just what Lambeau Field is and what the Packers are?
Yeah, it's been real cool. It's a very historic team, very historic stadium. Fans here are really, close-knit. It's a real tight-knit community. I saw population here was like 107,000 or something like this. So it's a real tight-knit group, and I like that a lot. It goes to show just how much the Green Bay Packers mean in this community. So it's like I said, a historic stadium and a historic team, and I'm just glad to be a part of it, bro.
We hear that football's in here. The Packers frequently coming in. You've probably heard that too. Is it good or bad? Are you excited about that much focus on football?
Yes, I'm very excited about that. At the end of the day, this is my job, and I'm going to treat it like that. I'm gonna have fun at my job, but like this. That's what I came here for, to play football. So it's very exciting to know that this is the only thing I'm going to be able to focus on here. Not that I wouldn't if I was anywhere else, but this is a perfect place for me. So.
Hey, Colin, you missed like almost your entire last year at Oklahoma State because of your injury. I guess can you walk us through what that experience, was like having to go through that, and then how do you feel as a person and a player having to go through that and coming out on the other side of it?
Yeah, it was adversity, and I looked at it as injuries are part of the game. It was unfortunate it happened at the time that it did because it was my senior year and I wanted to really go out there and win a Big 12 championship with my boys. But, it happens, and I dealt with it. I recovered from it and did all the things I needed to do. I learned the lessons I needed to learn throughout that whole process, and it was a bump in the road. I saw it as, and being on the other side of it now is really cool. And like I said, I learned a lot from just going through all that. So.
What did you specifically learn from that process?
Just to stay patient, man. Things happen in life, and you can't control. You have to control what you can control. And I bring that into every aspect of my life. And learning that from a foot injury is a unique way of learning that lesson. But it's just God works in mysterious ways.
Did you end up having surgery, and did they give you a chance? Like, there was any hope that you would come back that last year?
Yeah. At first, I hoped to come back, but being realistic about just where our season was headed and my recovery timeline, it made more sense for me to just sit down and prepare for the next level, because that's what I wanted to do coming into that season, and I just accepted that fact towards the middle to the end of the season. So.
It's important for you to play the senior ball as well.
It was. I wanted to showcase my talents. I wanted to show that I was healthy and show what I can do on the football field. So that was very important for me to play in that game.
Your freshman year, what was that like? And then how did that set us? Did that create unrealistic expectations for you the rest of the time?
I knew I was a baller. That was never in question. The scheme that we had ran and the coach that we had, everything just worked out well my freshman year. I had great teammates around me. That was just a great environment to be a part of. First time we went to the Big 12 championship since 2011 at OSU. So it was a team that really helped me propel my game. And learning from that season, realizing I had the talent from then on, you know, it just provoked me that much further and made me a better man and a player on the football field.
Colin, they haven't normally around here had a guy that's like just a designated pass rusher. Like he doesn't really fit here, and he's not quite this, but man, he can rush the passes. Is that you?
I'm here to play ball and do whatever the coaches ask of me. That's the only reason I'm here, and that's what I'm going to do while I'm here. Wherever they see me put, I'm going to play that position. I don't really care what it is. I don't know what it is, but it's going to be a position, and I'm going to play it to the best of my ability. So
they talked about it after they drafted you. They came down and they said, "Yeah, this is a guy. No matter where you put him, he can get to the quarterback."
Yeah.
So do you think they're open to that idea?
Yeah.
They discussed it with you, like, "Hey, learn this, learn this, learn this."
I'm sure the coaches know my strong suits and my the talents that I have. I get to the passer. You know, that's what I do best. And everything else just combines complements off of that. So whether it's linebacker, whether it's edge, whether it's special teams, whether it's I'm playing kicker, or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying. I don't care. I don't know, and I'm just playing to my best ability, whatever that position is.
Where do you feel like you thrive best though when it comes to position?
Anywhere on the football field, and that's God honest truth. I've been playing everywhere since I was a kid. I've been doing it since high school, college, and I plan on carrying that here. Obviously, the coaches saw something in me, so they're going to utilize me to that best ability. And I feel like that it's going to be real beneficial for me, and it's going to be extremely fun. So.
When you got selected, is there anybody on either the defense or offensive side of the ball that you're like, wow, I get to share a locker room with?
Everybody here, all these guys sacrificed something and made it to this level, and it's going to be cool to get familiar with everybody here. I'm gonna try and remember most names as I can. I know it'll come with time, but it's just real cool to meet everybody here who is here, staff and players. Well, I guess they're staff too, essentially. I don't know, but just meeting everybody here and being cool with people, that's really what it's about. I feel like.
Subsequently, how do you get over that rookie shock of maybe being a little bit starstruck as to who you are now playing with, because you are now equals, you are now teammates?
Yeah, you just gotta know you belong here. There's nothing holding me back besides myself at this point, and I gotta pour into whatever I need to do to get on the field, whatever I need to do to play in general. I need to pour into that, and I need to stay true to myself and do what I can to propel myself and my play on the field. Just watching film more, meeting some of the guys, seeing what they do off the field in terms of their body and taking care of it. How they watch film, what they do outside of just practice, everything that comes with being a professional athlete, I'm gonna learn my best, and I'm gonna put my front foot forward with that. So.
You had the Senior Bowl, but obviously you haven't really played in the game. So how much are you looking forward to just getting on the field tomorrow, running around, and having it with the Packers?
I'm looking forward to it so much. It's exciting anytime I get to touch the field, and I don't take any moment for granted out there. So it's going to be really exciting to go out there and just ball out, bro. I can't wait.
Were you really full strength at the Senior Bowl? I thought I had read something like that maybe you had like a hamstring, and so then they were holding you out. I mean, were you really able to go all out?
Yeah, I was good on there. There's a little workout tweaks, but I was good playing.
And you played in the game?
Played in the game.
Okay. I know it's just the first day here, but what was kind of your first impression of glancing at the playbook?
Yeah.
I mean, what's your first reaction?
It was amazing. I love what the DC's doing. And I just love the scheme that he has put forward, and I love the guys that he has for that scheme. Everybody he drafted for that scheme, and it's everything that deals with the defense and our team in general. It's a real cool concept, and I think we have a great chance to go to the Super Bowl this year, and that's obviously the plan. And I can't wait to, like I said, just get to work with these guys. So.
Was there a specific moment in college where you were introduced to the linebacker position as well as pass rusher, or were you doing that from the moment you stepped on campus?
I ain't gonna lie, I was doing that since I stepped on campus. I was doing it in high school. I was doing running around guys, and then college freshman year, I did the same thing. Once I learned a technique that dealt with pass rushers, when I moved to linebacker, and I incorporated both of the skills that I learned from my coaches, and I just applied them. When it was my junior year, whenever I got learned how to play linebacker, so that year was real fun. So it was real fun.
Colin, when you were drafted, the clip of you your freshman year sacking Caleb Williams got resurfaced in the game against Oklahoma. Was that for you in college, like one of the biggest moments for you? And now with getting resurfaced, fans are hoping that you can do it again now at the pro level.
Yeah, it was a real cool moment. Bedlam's a real big game in Stillwater and in Norman, but we take some pride with that game in Stillwater, and being able to do that in a moment like that with all the fans, it was real cool. Everybody dreams about getting a game-winning sack, and I actually did it. So it was a real cool moment for
Did
sure.
you see the Packers fans who had resurfaced it?
Yeah, I'm not creating no bad blood, but you can't bait me into that. But nah, like I said, it's a real cool moment. I enjoyed it, and you know, it was cool to be a part of that with the team. So.
Why do you love Where else did you play other than edge in college? So
Anywhere, linebacker. I didn't play slot corner, but I lined up out there. I did a lot in the 3 technique when we had our sack packages.
You lined up inside?
Yeah, I can rush the passing grade. So you know, that's my talents are my versatility. That's one of my biggest traits, and you know, I can't wait to see what the Packers do with me. So.
Have things calmed down for you a little bit since last Saturday?
Yeah, for sure. Now it's time to actually get to work. I mean, this is what I want to do. This is the part I'm most excited about, is actually, you know, putting on this gear, going out there on the field. So got that opportunity today, so I'm feeling pretty good.
Did your family and your crew go back home, or are they still?
Yeah, no, they went back home. Everybody's back home, and it's time to get to work now.
Did you ever dream that you could say you were one of the stories of the draft and how that all kind of transpired, and then even, you know, your emotional moments and the other?
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely didn't plan it, didn't expect it, you know. I mean, you just waiting. You never know what to expect, but everything just happened so fast. You know, you back there waiting, you get the call, and then it's like everything else goes out the window. You know, it's like your dream comes to reality. So at that point, everything was just lined up, and you just get to enjoy the experience, and happy that, you know, everything went the way it was, because, I mean, that was one of the best days of my life for sure.
The emotions, as high as they were when we saw you last, how long did it take for it to kind of return back to, okay, this has happened, and process that and really think about the road ahead now?
Yeah, it was really, I mean, it didn't take that much longer. Obviously, after you get drafted, you know, you get the call and you start getting your schedule and getting ready to come back out here. And at that point, you realize, all right, that was good, but it's time to get to work. And, you know, it's just a switch that you have to make.
I was talking to your defensive coordinator yesterday. We talked about football a little bit. Mostly he just kept talking about your work ethic, your dedication, that you do all the right things and all that. Where did that more professional mindset come from?
Yeah, just early on at Texas, just kind of going through everything, knowing what I wanted to be. I know I wanted to be a great player, but just learning what it takes to get there. And at Texas, I really just learned what it takes. And at that point, you know, once you figure out the recipe, you know, you just go all in on it. And that's all it was for me, is just learning how to, you know, trust the process and then work hard. You know, like everybody says about working hard, but like, are you really like waking up every day and finding a way to get better? And that's what I learned at Texas, and then that's what's carried me to my time up here.
Is that from being with the older guys when you were young? That mindset of doing?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people, coaches and everybody that I learned from at Texas. But for me, I'll just say it was trial and error, you know, just being the young guy coming in at Texas, you know, wanting to be great, but just sitting there and sitting back and learning from everybody else. And I was just a sponge, you know, and at that time I didn't really know, but now looking back on it, it all paid off.
We saw on the video Matthew posted, you guys posing for a picture last Thursday night after he got drafted. Were you just waiting at his hotel for him until he got back?
Yeah, so obviously, you know, that's my boy. You know, we was out here, and yeah, he got drafted. Didn't know how things was going to turn out, so I definitely want to see him one time before, you know, he goes and I go wherever I went. But, you know, the way things turn out, I guess we're going to see each other a lot more, so couldn't be more thankful for that.
Did you let him know, hey, I'll see you soon, not knowing obviously if you'd be
Yeah,
here, like, hey, maybe it's a possibility.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was like we dapped up, you know, it was like 1 a.m. So at that point, you know, obviously I didn't get drafted yet, so I got to wake up the next day and get ready for what I have to do. So at that point, it's just like, all right, bro, I waited for you, you know, and we'll talk, see you later. But happy that I get to play with him every day.
What was that first conversation like with him after you got drafted, when it was official?
Yeah, for me, man, it's funny because he was the first person that called me, the first person I answered. I talked to him when I was going on the golf cart to the facility, man. It was just like, you know, it was just such a surreal moment. You know, it was just like both of our dreams came to reality, and like Matt is a guy that like we obviously didn't know how things were going to turn out now, but you know, we just built a relationship at Texas. We're literally riding to practice together every day, just, you know, talking about the grind, talking about, you know, what his dreams were, talking about what my dreams were, and then for both of us to come to the same place and the way we did, definitely wanted to take in that moment with him.
Hey, Baron, after the draft, the NFL put out that video of you and your mom where she was kind of talking to you and talking about your journey. Just what was sort of your reaction to that, and just kind of the emotions, you know, with your history with everything?
Yeah, man, y'all trying to get me again. But, yeah, exactly. Man, you know, it's just obviously you don't know. Going back there, they set it up to where you don't know, and then she pops up, and you know, it just makes your heart smile. You know, I mean, that's the lady that was there through it all with me. You know, helped me grow, challenged me on and off the field, and believed in me and sacrificed for me when you know she didn't know how things were going to turn out. She didn't know that I would be on this stage. She didn't know that I would be a professional football player, but she believed in me early on. And in the video, you know, you hear me asking about the helmet and stuff like that. And there was always little things that I would ask her for, and she just bought into it. And for that, I'm always going to be grateful and thankful to her because she didn't know how things was going to turn out, but yet she just believed in the vision and believed in me.
Are you surprised that more players that are at the Senior Bowl, invited to the Combine, don't come to the draft stage like you did to participate regardless where they think they're going to go?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was a dream for me, and I mean, I think that's the case for a lot of people, and I mean, I just encourage everybody to just follow your dreams. You know, don't let anybody put you in a box to tell you what you can or can't do. You know, if you have a dream and that's something that you always wanted to do, go for it. You know, and however things turn out, that's how they turn out. But you just got to put everything in there and go for it. I mean, for me, it was my dream to walk the stage. So from day one before the season, like I knew that's what I wanted to do, and I woke up every day trying to work towards that. And you know, I'm gonna follow through the opportunity, no matter the projections, no matter how things looked. And you know, that's how it turned out for me. So I would just encourage everybody to just follow their dreams, especially players that, like you said, went to the Senior Bowl, got invited to the Combine, because you know, the draft is such an important time for sure. But a lot of people don't realize that it's just the starting point, you know. And at the end of the day, you're going to the NFL draft. I mean, and you're going to the NFL, so. Just take in that moment, man, and just move forward and realize that it's just a starting point, it's not the end.
So, Baron, obviously your situation is so unique. Most guys in the green room are just day one guys. You said you wanted to do it. Did you have to pull a lot of strings to make it happen, even though you weren't projected as a surefire day one pick? And B, have you pinched yourself since then to say how cool is it? Not only did it happen, but with the Packers, one of 32 teams that could celebrate you like that.
It's just an all-around blessing, man. All I could do is just give credit to God just for everything, the way it lined up. But for me to get there, I mean, I definitely want to just thank my agent for sure. But it was between my agent and the NFL, just being there to work things out, talk things through. And that's really what got me there, you know. I mean, I was there from the beginning, and they took me in, and my family even told me afterwards, like, you couldn't even tell that my projection was a day two throughout the whole week. Like, just the way the NFL took us in, they took care of our travel and everything. Like, it was just, I'm thankful to them for, just for that whole week.
Hey, Baron, we talked on Saturday about your support. This is not a crying question, I promise. But you talked about your support system and your family, and Matthew was in here and talking about some of the things he went through when he was a kid. You know him. You're one of his closest friends. How happy are you for him, and how much did you guys talk about, as you guys were playing together in Texas, what he went through to get to the point that he has got?
Yeah, just so happy for him, man. You know, you everybody loves a good underdog story, and I feel like that just is what, describes Matt's story. You know what I mean? Coming from Houston, going to Texas, the way he came in and worked from day one. And that's the thing. I feel like that's why me and him clicked so well at Texas, because, it just happened naturally. I just see the way he worked day in and day out, the way he came in. Like, they didn't have him, like, as wide receiver one when he came in, And for us to be taking the field, I always tell him, like, in the beginning, he wasn't like the priority, but for us to be taking the field in the semifinals and we're like, we got to get to the ball, like that just speaks to the story, speaks to his story, speaks to his work ethic, and yeah, just so proud and happy for him. But he has what it takes, and that the things that he has, is what got him here, but it's going to take him very far.
You mentioned Rashawn Gary, watching him a little bit. Have you gotten a chance to talk to him at all since he got here?
Yeah, so we texted back and forth a little bit, but looking forward to actually getting to see him. Right now it's rookie minicamp, so a lot of them are gone, but definitely the first guy that I'm looking forward to talk to, and learn from, because I know there's a lot that I could learn from him. He's a very great player, and I'm just looking forward to learn and help wherever I can in this defense.
What's it like to go to a new place but have Matthew with you? Does that make it easier?
Yeah, it feels kind of weird. We was just joking about it because like we're at a walkthrough and like we're both taking the field, and it's just like you see him and he sees me. It's just kind of weird because obviously last time we were practicing we were in burnt orange, so it definitely feels weird. But you just realize it's a blessing that we both are going through this, critical time in our lives together. And, the fact that we had that relationship, the fact that we're able to talk to each other about different things and, just relate to each other and help each other get through this transition is a blessing for both of us.
Why did you go to the Senior Bowl? I think you were the only guy from Texas. I mean, your season just ended. You just had a long season for you guys.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I'm a competitor, and once again, the Senior Bowl is another thing that was a dream to me growing up. You know, you always see the top players go there and compete, and regardless of how long, you know, we played, I kind of made that decision once I got the invite. I'm like, this is where the top player is going to be, so I want to be there, and I want to compete, and I want to show everybody what I'm about. And, you know, just thankful to the way I take care of my body, the things I do beforehand, so then I was able to make that transition easy, playing the late season and just going to the Senior Bowl. But for me, it was just fun. Like, I just wanted to go out there and play some football against some of the top people that you hear throughout your college career, and felt like I had some stuff to prove, and I went out there and I did what I expected to do.
You seem like a guy who's where your feet are. You embraced the journey. You wanted to do the Senior Bowl. You wanted to be on the draft stage. Do you want to go to OTAs, this, that, the other? I mean, like, how much of that grind do you really embrace and try to be in the ring?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like you realize that obviously since a young kid, I said I wanted to be a professional football player, and throughout the process, throughout college, you just got to really sit down and take in the moments like that. You're going through these steps. Like, I'm going to the Senior Bowl, I'm going to the Combine. Like, these are all steps that I dreamed of since I was a kid, so why would I not, be where my feet are and embrace that moment? And I feel like that's what makes me be able to perform the way I do, because I'm just, taking it in, having fun, but also realizing that I'm doing this for that little kid that said he wants to be a professional football player when I was like 5 or 6, and everybody's asking me, what's my backup plan? So it's just a lot that I like to take in, and just, enjoy the moment.
Did you ever have a backup plan? Because I know that came up with your mom too.
Yeah.
Was there ever a plan B with that, or what did you think?
There wasn't a definite plan B. It was just more like, obviously I got to still take care of my grades, like especially for the school and everything. For her to sacrifice to get me into, she was like, I'm not gonna put you in the school if you got C's and B's and all this. So I had to have really good grades. I maintained the A throughout all my high school, and then same thing, transition to college. I got my degree, so it's not like, I definitely wasn't like paying attention to stuff off the field, but in my mind it's like I definitely wanted to embrace, what my dream was, and I feel like that's when things really took off for me.
Because that was funny when I looked at your bio. I think you had a 4.6.
Yeah, I did. Yes.
You took care of it there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I had no choice. My mom was on me, so definitely had to do that for her. But thankful that plan A worked.
Same grades Wes had.
Yeah.
When you transitioned from the euphoria of draft day to now, you've talked a couple times about how it's time to get to work. What has yesterday and today been like, and how much are you looking forward to tomorrow being on the field?
Man, it's been great. You just realize that you're finally here. Like you said, draft day and everything, it was a blessing. It was great, but it was it was a lot, and time to actually put my cleats in the ground, put my hand in the dirt, and do what got me here. So for me, I'm just excited to go out there. I'm out there practicing in Green Bay Packers gear. Like, it don't really get better than that to me. You learn about the tradition of this team, you learn about this organization, the people in this organization, and I'm just so happy to be a part of this, but also I'm just happy to be playing football another day.
2 more, please.
I do have to ask, there's been a Barry Sorrell in our YouTube comments of our radio show. Is that possibly actually your dad being a hype man telling us?
Goodness, man, this guy. Yeah. Yes, that is my dad. Dad, stop. That's what I'm gonna say. Stop.
Does he know Tyrese Halliburton's dad?
I don't know about that.
That's what it's been like being a Packer. What's it been like for you, for this past week or so?
Well, after I got drafted, it really didn't hit me until I woke up the next morning. I was like, whoa, I'm a Packer. And then somebody asked me what I do. And I was like, I play football. And they said, who? I said, Green Bay Packers. And it was like, oh, snap, I'm really in the NFL for real. But it's cool, man. It's a blessing, bro. 10-year-old me would be very proud. Yeah, he would be proud. But, it's cool, bro. I'm in the NFL. I'm living the dream. I get to play football for fun now. And, I just got smiles on my face. We did a walk there. I'm just smiling. It's like, wow, I'm really here, bro. It's a blessing, honestly.
Warren, you seem pretty shy and reserved, so is this going to be an adjustment for you?
Man, it's so hard being in front of these cameras, man. Like, I just when I see the cameras, I just freeze up. It's hard for me, bro. It's really hard. I don't like this shirt.
So what you're saying is you're going to be on ESPN someday after your football career?
That is the goal. That's why I started my podcast, Beyond the Hedges, when I was doing it with the players down at Georgia, was just to get my footprint out there. I didn't have to go get a journalism degree. No knock on you guys. No knock.
No, the knock is
no knock. But it was like, bro, like I want to be on ESPN one day, so it's like, let me just get in front of a camera and just talk to my peers. And it's like, oh, it's easy to talk to people, so let's do it.
It's not all it's cracked up to be.
No, it's probably not. Bro. I got to do a lot of research and stuff probably too. Yeah. Oh, he works for ESPN. Hey.
That great.
Let's go.
So have you already booked Quay and Devontae to come on the podcast since they're right here?
Not yet. We got to get to that first, but hopefully they'll say yes. Hopefully they'll say yes.
Did your phone just blow up with
Bro.
Georgia players? Quay and Devontae and
Yeah.
those guys.
Everybody hit me. Jordan Love hit me. Kenny Clark hit me. That was cool. When Kenny Clark texted me and my heart dropped, I was like, no, this guy's a legend. Whoa. But everybody, it was just a lot of people texting me, man. I didn't get back to everybody, but I hope everybody knows that I do appreciate all the love that they showed me for sure.
I'm guessing you got back to Kenny Clark, though.
Oh, yeah. I had to learn from Kenny Clark for sure, yeah.
Did you catch him this weekend?
Yeah, I seen him and I was, oh, snap, that was Kenny Clark. I didn't even see his face, but I saw him and the aura just hit me in the face, so I knew it was Kenny Clark. Yeah, it was the aura.
So whose job does it look like you could take here? Whose job do you think you could take out of us right here?
Neither of y'all. Y'all been doing this for a long time. Y'all got years on me. I still got to learn to get to y'all spot, so I'm not going to take anybody's job. I'm just going to be a coworker.
That's okay, because none of us can take your job either. So
No.
It fits.
With a couple hard work, 6 A's a day, you might get to this.
You give me all the hard work you want.
Yeah.
Warren, what did you go to school? What is your degree in?
My degree was economics and real estate management.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's it like to have Stackhouse? And I realize you have a problem making friends probably here, but what's it like to have Stackhouse come along here with you?
Bro, it's fun having my teammates here, and then it's going to be the whole Georgia squad out there again, bro. I can't wait. It's going to be like that picture of Philadelphia with all the Georgia players on it. We're going to do the same thing here. I call it the pack dogs. You get it, like pack, dogs traveling the pack, green dogs. Yeah, yeah. I coined that.
You got to put that on the podcast. Put that on pod.
Trademark.
Put on a shirt.
Yeah, for sure. The pack dogs. We got to have some. I might do it.
But Warren, you did mention, I mean, you mentioned Nazir by name when you were talking about on the conference call
Yeah.
about you guys working together.
Yeah.
To have him come along and to have that continuation of all these Georgia dogs here, what does that mean for you, just transitioning?
I think the league is really just seeing that the way to win games is get some Georgia Bulldogs on your team, honestly. I mean, Kirby Smart is a great coach. He develops a talented group of young men year over year. And it's just hard work goes into it. So that's why we're able to transition to the NFL so well, just because what we do at Georgia, we walk through, we meet, we walk through again, we meet, we go to practice, we walk through, we practice hard, we walk through at the end of practice, man. Georgia is rigorous, and we got to just continue the greatness. And I just want to be an example for the younger guys at Georgia. Like, hey, no matter where you go, it's about getting your foot in the door. And once you get here, you're a Georgia Bulldog. You're built for anything.
Where do you think you are as a pass rusher coming into the league?
I mean, it's the NFL, so I got to get out in the preseason to see where I'm at. Honestly, I think I'm a very good pass rusher, but I can't just be too cocky about it. I got to work hard. I got to ask Kenny some stuff, just learn from the guys around me, get into practice, and just hear what they have to tell me. I'm trying to be a sponge and just soak in all the information and just find out the nuances of the NFL that I need to know to be elite and be ahead of other people.
Obviously, you're going to have to compete here.
Yeah.
So what does that Georgia background mean as far as that mean you to compete against your D linemen in your class, you to compete against all those O linemen? It was like a competition every day, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was always competition, man. You got Tate Ratledge up there. You had Jamari Sawyer. We had a lot of people up there that you had to compete against. You had to bring your A game every day to Georgia, every day. And if you were not on your period, you get your head knocked off. That's I'm gonna take the same thing to the NFL. Just be on point every time. Take everything serious. It's a warrior mentality out there. I'm trying to win. I got to feed my family. You know, got to eat.
I think your pick is the 5th year in a row that this team is taking a player from you.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
And so when you get that 920 call, does that make you say, "Oh man, I already know 2 or 3 dudes that are up there," right? So does that comfort you a little bit when you take this next step?
It does comfort me, but it is the NFL, so somebody can be in, somebody can be out. It's a comfort effect, but you can't get too comfortable with it because you never know what can happen. It's always changing, it's always evolving. It's the NFL, it's not for long. So I can be here with a guy one day and he can be gone the next day. So you just never know. People are coming in and out this building, man. My goal is to do my best to learn my part, do my job, and just be a leader for the guys around me. I'm a rookie, but I still can lead by example by just doing my job, doing my part, staying in my playbook, and doing the right things, honestly, leading on and off the field.
How much of your power comes from your lower body?
You see these legs?
Yeah, I know.
Well,
I mean, that's why I was looking at your calf. It's like freaking gigantic.
How much power? I mean, I don't know. I haven't done a test yet, but I think a lot. Maybe all of it. I walk on them. No, I'm joking. Probably a good bit, but yeah. Not a lot of power. I don't have like Shaq legs or something like that.
What have you learned early on about this Packers defense what half-plate, just what that tries to do?
Man, just being with Coach Covington, it's a lot of the same things from Georgia, same tree, 5 methods D-line play. Pete Jenkins coined it all the way back in the day. And it's the same thing, so I'm really going in attack, react, attack, jet mode, stunt mode. It's the same thing. It's football, man. You just got to learn the plays and do your job.
So, Warren, take us through, like, you got here last night for, like, a meeting, I'm
Yeah,
guessing?
I was here all day.
Okay, so
Yeah,
kind of take us through the last 48 hours.
Woo! All right, let's do it. So I woke up at 4 a.m. yesterday morning. I got to the airport about 5. Got on my flight about 5:50. Flew to Detroit. Went from Detroit to Green Bay. Got off the plane. Went to my hotel for about an hour. Came straight here and was here all day. But I had my iPad for about 2 days, so I was just breaking down the film, looking at it. They have like correction cut-ups of all the players. I'm looking at Kenny Clark's tape, looking at Devontae, JJ, Enakbari. Actually, JJ, the 55, I think.
Yep.
His head coach in high school is my goddad. That's actually insane. But yeah, I was looking at all the guys' tape and just walkthroughs a day, meetings again. It's football. I went to Georgia. I'm used to the meetings. I'm used to the span. Take a shot of espresso. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Oh, only one shot of espresso?
Double espresso.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of man.
Where did you originate from? Where did you leave? What was your first flight? Where were you coming from?
Atlanta, Georgia. Yes, sir. Atlanta, Georgia. But yeah, man, it's been a good 4 years.
There isn't direct from Atlanta.
They did. I wish.
Sorry. You got up at 4. I thought you might have caught that.
There is,
It's like a
it's
5
an early one.
It's our one flight to Atlanta a day.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Why did they put me on that?
It might not be every day though. I'm not sure.
You gotta earn it.
Yeah.
What camera should I look into? Hey, Matt Klein. Let me get a better flight.
Now you know, though.
No, that was my first connecting flight in so long. I haven't done a connecting flight since high school, bro. I had to walk like 30 minutes to get to the next one. But I got a Delta Sky Lounge, so you just go chill, eat some food, relax. You got a good bathroom in there too.
Warren, when did you know the connection with JJ? Were you always aware of that?
Yeah, I met JJ for the first time when I was a freshman in high school, and I was about to go to Hateville Charter School because my brother was actually helping out with the team. They came down and played Benedictine in Savannah, and I'm like, well, who's this big defensive end they got with his curly hair? And I think, what's his real name? Kingsley? Yeah, Kingsley Enakbari. I'm like, yo, this dude's big. Then he went to South Carolina, but I've always kept up. But my goddad was his head coach in high school. Yeah, I meant to tell him that, but I didn't tell him yet.
Did he reach out to you that? You connected with JJ already?
Yeah, I saw him yesterday. Yeah.
Are you good with the Texas guys that are going to be on this team that are in?
Oh, but me and Cyril, I've already been joking with him. I beat him in pig twice already, so I'm like, I'm 4-0 against you, boy. I'm 4-0. He said 4-0. I'm like, hey, SEC in Austin.
Abbreviated.
Yeah,
horse.
pig. Yeah. I beat him in pig, man. Yeah, but I'm gonna keep the jokes. Probably will joke with Matt, you know. Nah, I probably will joke with him, but yeah, I'm gonna keep the jokes going. We dominated y'all boys. Yeah.
Have you been in Green Bay? Have you had the cheese curds? All that you talked about eating?
Not yet. No cheese curds yet. I'm gonna wait until I get some time off. I can't put that fried food in my body right now. It's gonna slow you down. But I will have cheese curds at some point. People have been telling me a lot of places, so hopefully I can get some more. Hey, DM me if you got some places I can go to. But yeah, I'm trying to figure it out yet. But not yet. I'm worried about just being here, being president in this moment right now.
22.
My grandma, her favorite number was 2 growing up, and she told me she wanted me to represent that number, and so I knew the last receiver that was drafted was 2002, so I felt like it kind of made sense to me.
Did you think you were 81 there for a second on
draft
night?
I did.
How'd that change?
I talked to the guy that gave me the numbers, and I asked him if I could get 22. He said it was up for grabs, so I took it.
What's the process been like since you've been drafted? What's, I guess, the last few days or so been like for you?
Man, it's been cool. A great experience. Definitely, finally, glad to be back in football. Just running around and being around guys on the team. I'm excited to play football again, man.
Matthew, you've mentioned your grandma a couple of times. What does she mean to you? What did she mean to you growing up and all that?
Yeah, definitely my best friend, man. She helped me get to this point. I feel like me being here, I can give her all the thanks for, helping me get here. So, the rest is on me to, come out here and have fun and compete. Allow myself to put my best foot forward each and every day.
What's her name?
Penny. Yeah, Penny.
Matthew, what was it like spending the weekend with her, your family, just any aftermath of being the first-round pick?
Man, it was a great experience. You only get one experience doing this, so I had to come to the draft. I actually made it my decision last minute. So to be here, you know, for the atmosphere to be crazy and just for me to walk the stage, man, it was a cool experience for me.
In that video you put out, you take a picture with Barron
Yeah.
after you
Yeah.
got picked. Did you ever think that you guys would be teammates again?
It's crazy because the night before the draft, I went to Barron's room and we was talking, and you know, we was looking outside the city from where his room was, and we was just talking about football. And for us to get drafted on the same team, man, it is crazy. I ain't gonna lie, it's crazy. We still talk about it to today.
How close were you guys back in school?
Yeah, me and Barron was tight. You know, that was the first guy I connected with when I got to Texas. So to be on the same team with him, man, it's truly cool.
So Matthew, you know that the last time this team used a first-round pick on a receiver was on Javon Walker.
Yeah.
That was before you were born. You understand how unique that is?
Yeah, it's definitely unique. You know, I feel like that's what made that pick even more important to me. You know, just understanding the history behind it. So, you know, definitely thankful to be in this position. And, you know, I'm looking forward to what's in front of me.
Your receivers coach was part of that team, Chris Jackson.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys talked at all?
Oh, yeah.
Did he talk about this place at all?
Yeah, he did. You know, he told me it was a great environment for me to be in. You know, he just told me, you know, what got me here, you know, I need to keep that with me. So just be myself, you know, go to work every day. You know, it's a job. And, you know, they want you to put your best foot forward, and that's what I'm here to do.
Who was it that told you that it was since 2002? How did you find that out? You're after the first-round receiver.
I want to say my uncle told me. Yeah, my uncle told me.
So you knew going into draft?
Yeah, going in the draft, yeah, I knew it.
What's your last week been like? I mean, did you fly back to Texas?
Yeah.
What's the logistics been like? Did you stay here?
Yeah, so I went back home, and then I flew in, I'm lost on count on the days, man. Friday, so I got in Saturday. Got in Saturday. Yeah, I got in Saturday. So been here for 2 days. You know, excited to be here. You know, get the offense down, and like I said, just get back to playing football.
So you found out that they hadn't drafted a receiver in the first round before you got picked,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, before.
So you visited here, right? And did you think to yourself, well, hell, they're not going to pick me.
Yeah, man, I actually didn't know, and man, for it to happen, like I said, it's crazy. But you know, it happened for a reason. I'm excited to be here, like I said, and man, I'm ready to compete.
How long did it take for your new quarterback to reach out to you?
He texted me literally right after I got drafted. You know, told me it's time to go to work, congratulated me, and just told me, you know, well, it's time to work. Come here and work.
What did you have to say to him? What did you have to say to him?
I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready. You know, I've been waiting for this moment my whole life, and you know, to be here, like I said, I'm gonna be present, but you know, I'm gonna let my presence be known. I'm gonna come in here and compete.
Have you had the chance to see the video where LaFleur said he FaceTimed Jordan Love and he said he's got to warm his arm up?
Yeah, I seen. Yeah, I seen.
You know, what was the feelings when you saw that and just kind of getting ready to start working with him?
You know, I really don't pay attention to social media like that. But you know, I know I control what I can. So, like I said, man, I'm gonna come out here and do what I'm supposed to do. I'm gonna do it to my best of my ability. So, I'm definitely gonna try to run 4.29 on the field, so Jordan can put the ball out there somewhere for me.
You're not coming in under the radar. Obviously, all this attention. How much pressure is that put on you?
Yeah. No, I don't pay no attention to it. Like I said, I got myself here. You know, being myself. So that's all I'm gonna do. And you know, I'm gonna come in here and compete and work just like I did my whole life. So it's nothing new to me. Like I said, man, I'm just happy to be here.
Did you get to know Savion pretty well during the pre-draft?
Yeah, I did. So I was originally committed to TCU before I committed to Houston, and he actually hosted me on my visit. So me and Savion go way back.
What's that conversation been like between you two this week?
And man, it's cool. You know, trying to get the offense down together. You know, and just going through walkthroughs and stuff like that. It just feel like a full circle, and you know, to have somebody that I know, you know, we're gonna push each other each and every day. So, holding him accountable, he holding me accountable.
Do you have a feel for how your games might complement each other within the same offense?
Yeah, definitely versatility. You know, he could play inside and out, and that's something I could do too. So, you know, it's gonna be fun seeing what we do in the offense.
Hey Matthew, have you been able to connect with any of the other wide receivers?
Yeah, Jay Reed hit me once I got drafted. Watson hit. I seen Watson when I came up here. So, you know, I've been around them, and like I said, man, I'm ready to be in that room. I'm ready to compete with those guys and, you know, go out there and have fun.
What have those conversations kind of been like with
them? They all told me, you know, it's time to go to work. You know, they gave me some great advice. You know, I talked to Mecole Hardman yesterday. You know, he was just giving me advice. You know, he's been in the league for a while, so, you know, for a rookie coming in, he just gave me some stuff that could help me, you know, down the road. So, you know, I really appreciate it.
Matthew, you had some of your best college games at the end and in the playoffs when it really mattered. What's it take to perform your best when it's all on the line?
Yeah, just knowing the situation, you know, just knowing that when the lights come on, you know, that's when I'm at my best. And so just being in the environment, just knowing that you got to come out there and you got to compete. And like I said, man, I'm coming here to win games and do whatever the team needs me to do.
How much do you look forward to that first step of actually getting on the field tomorrow?
Yeah.
I know you guys got a chance to look at all the gear, obviously, at the jersey on, but actually getting out on the field and getting to run around a little bit.
Man, that's all I've been waiting on. You know, I'm glad the process of the combine and, you know, all those visits is over with. So, you know, now I'm just back to playing football and just coming out here enjoying it, you know, learning as much as I can, soaking it in, and then going out there playing fast.
Matthew, you put in the work every day, but to go from junior high, financially struggling, high school, to Houston, Texas, first round in the NFL, that can be a little bit of a blur. I mean, I know you got that dream, but talk about what you're adjusting.
You know, I'm adjusting great to it. You know, what it took to get here, it wasn't easy, but, you know, I always stay grounded, stay committed to the process, and, you know, whatever opportunity that came to me, I made the most of it. So, you know, just knowing that that's what it took to get here, and that's what's going to keep me here. So, you just making the most of my opportunities and going out there and playing fast for the team.
Hey, Matthew, Brian Gutekunst said one of the things he really liked about you was that you've been through adversity and come out on the other side. What are some of the things that you've dealt with adversity-wise that have shaped you to be who you are now?
As far as football or anything in general?
I think he was talking about both.
Me and my mom, you know, at times we stayed in hotels, and it was times we couldn't pay for a room, so we stayed in front of Walmart in Brenham, Texas. And, you know, so I reflect back to that, you know, whenever I am playing football, you know, it just keeps me motivated to keep going. In 2023, I had a season in the injury, my left toe. And, you know, that was the first time football got taken away from me. So, for me, it was just frustrating. You know, I didn't really understand why it happened to me. And, you know, at that time, my relationship with God grew a lot stronger. So, you know, I started to understand everything happened for a reason. And, you know, I just took it from there.
When you went through those tough times, how much did football become something of a safe haven for you to kind of just leave everything outside the field and put it there?
You know, just definitely like a safe environment for me. You know, just whenever I'm on the field, that's when I feel great. I feel like, you know, nothing is stopping me from where I'm going, and, you know, I could just focus on football. So it's definitely something that, you know, that's keeping me motivated and just keeping me grounded.
It's been a crazy week, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Have you been able to put in an offer on your grandmother's house yet?
It's in the works. Yeah, it's definitely in the works. So, you know, I'm definitely going to get that done for her.
How much?
Someone else is living there now?
No, nobody's living there. Yeah. It's basically abandoned right now. You know, it's been sitting there for some years, and they got a sign up there. But, you know, that's something that I want to do for my grandma.
How much does that history hit you in the moment when you get drafted on Thursday, when you walk into this place yesterday, maybe when you hit the practice field later today?
Yeah, say that again.
Yeah, how much is all your life history hit you or has hit you and going to hit you coming up?
No, I just reflect back to those times. You know, like I said, everything that happened to me, everything that I went through, it happened for a reason. You know, that's what got me here. And to be in this position, you know, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy getting here. And I know what I did. You know, the people that I had around me, they helped me get to this point. And, you know, now I'm here. So, you know, I'm just focusing on ball now.
Did you even ask Malik Willis for number 2, or did you not bother?
You know, I didn't bother. You know, for me, it's just a jersey number, you know. And I could wear 85 if I wanted to. You know, I'm still going to go out there and get open. So, for me, it was just meaning behind the number 22 for me. And, like I said, man, it got history behind it, so it just made sense for me.
Where's your confidence? Where does your confidence come from?
Now, that's something that's been with me when I was a younger kid. You know, just always having that confidence in yourself. You know, I feel like confidence, you know, it makes a person, and it helps a person on and off the field. You know, I feel like that's what you got to have to be successful. So it started like I said, when I was younger, and, you know, it kind of just stuck with me.
Do you need a new necklace now?
I definitely do. I need to add a number 2.
Exactly.
A little danger they both crave when they put